Hello and welcome to the Simuldub Saints, your guide to seasonal anime dubs. I'm your host, Laserkid, and with me as always is my trusty co-host.
Hello, I am Archangel, lover of cat girls.
You've been listening to our theme song, Wherever I Go, from friend of the podcast, Ampered. Please check out their awesome music, link in the description.
And this is just a quick extra prayer, so there's no particular shout-out today.
Indeed, I am in Arizona, away from my editing computer, so it'd be nice to arc. We're not really doing full episodes, just extra prayers. We've got a doozy of a couple of news stories to talk about, and it's absolutely relevant to what we do, so here we are.
Indeed. Would that we could talk about something nice.
Oh, Crunchyroll. Why are you Crunchyroll?
Because Sony.
Yeah, pretty much. So, there's two stories here, and this first one goes out to Manga Alerts, who I've actually met in person through friend of the podcast V-Lord down at Anime Expo. Nice guy. But apparently Crunchyroll has allegedly rolled out a slow sellers policy for the Crunchyroll store, where if you don't meet particular sales expectations, you are flagged as not selling fast enough, basically. And they start delisting the products as out of print or out of stock, even though they're not out of stock or out of print. And they're not even telling the companies that they're doing this. This got found out about because of people talking to two different people and figuring out what was going on.
This I don't get. I mean, not printing more if it's not selling, that makes sense.
No. We're not talking about Crunchyroll's own products. We're talking about stuff from like Discotheque or High Dive stuff, Sentai Filmworks stuff. Not Crunchyroll's own product. We're talking about third-party companies' work. That they are, because you have to remember the Crunchyroll store they bought out Right Stuff Entertainment, which was the place to buy anime for like decades.
So do they hold stock and do fulfillment, or do they just act as a storefront?
They have, yes, because again, they bought that whole store. There was a warehouse full of stuff there.
Okay, so then what are they going to do with the stock? That's stupid.
I don't know. Sit on it. Do nothing with it. They decided they weren't selling it fast enough. I mean,
if you want to de-emphasize it from the front page, sure, but you make it so that people can find it, and either you remainder it or you sell it. You don't just throw it in a landfill unless it's ET for the 2600.
They're treating a lot of the stuff like that. We're canceling people's orders for these things.
Jesus.
And again, the problem is they weren't even telling their business partners about this. There are several anonymous reports about this. I am aware of at least a few of those directly that I cannot reveal on podcasts, but I've actually heard the stories. They're bad.
Just bad business.
Yes. This is terrible business. And look, Crunchyroll, you are a mega corporation. You're part of Sony. You're not small store. Ooh, can't afford to go too much stock of things. Ooh. You are a mega corporation. You bought out the anime store because you wanted to be the guys that ran everything. Then run it.
That, or at the very least, if you've got unsold stock that you don't want, at the very least, remainder it off to Rob's or whoever. Someone will take it.
Yeah.
You better sell it off in bulk commercially if you don't want it.
Because I can tell you, Discotheque got a hold of their stuff, and they took it to one of the guys that works at Discotheque has his own store called Media OCD, which has been going on for a while now. They basically rescued the products. There's a whole site, a whole section of that, where it's called Discotheque Rescues.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, yeah, you don't just throw out physical product for no reason.
Well, it's not selling fast enough, you see.
I don't. That's retarded.
Well, again,
you you resell it to somebody else who's going to speculate, or you just leave it in the back of the warehouse.
See,
And,
they're trying to min-max what we have in the warehouse. So they're trying to get it so that they don't hold on to product for too long. That's what they're trying to do. And I'm sorry, the product I was calling was Discotheque Deep Dive, which is hanging out of Media OCD, which includes such titles as Scried, Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple, Galaxy Express 39, Lupin the Third Part 1. These are not like nothing titles.
If you're concerned with that, then you get a third party to do fulfillment for you. I'm sure Amazon would be thrilled if nobody else.
They don't need to. They own the warehouses. They bought them out.
Yeah, so what the fuck? I mean, is the warehouse literally filling up?
No.
If that's the case, then I can kind of sympathize.
That's not the case. This is some pencil pusher going, but we're holding them for more than like a couple of months. We need to get that. That's a waste of our money. We shouldn't have that.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Well, I'm telling you the pencil pusher mindset. I don't agree with them.
Yeah, you have to air condition the warehouse anyway, and that's all it needs. This isn't refrigerated meat.
It's stupid corpo mindset, and it's really bad look because it's bad to your business buddies, and it's bad for your consumers who might want to buy things from you. Yeah, it might not be the fastest selling item, but it's still selling, and anime fans do like to buy stuff. I can tell you, because anime is expensive again, $50, $60, $70 sets now, instead of like 30, 40, 50 like 5-6 years ago.
Like it should still be.
I buy a lot less frequently than I used to because the prices went up. So, yeah, it's going to be a little slower.
Going to a theme that we're going to come back to with our second story here. If you haven't noticed, normal people have less disposable income because of all sorts of fuckery all over the world.
Indeed. And you raise
take that
the prices,
into account.
People are going to be a little slower to buy these things. But if you hold on to them, you'll still sell them because people love their anime. Yep.
Unless you're doing boutique shit, you can't get away with just selling to rich people. NVIDIA only did that because they had a separate business and they just wanted to have one final fuck your wallet to their people who hadn't caught on to their GPU stuff. It doesn't work with things like anime. Whoever made this decision does not know how to retail. Someone needs to smack them down, and if they're in charge of anything, move them to a if it's some budget person, smack them down, and if they're in charge of this, move them someplace that they do know how to do. They have been running the
store like shit for a while. I have several Crunchyroll store horror stories, and it all comes down to one major problem. You cannot talk to their customer support. You can only email them, and they will ignore you.
Sure.
There is no phone number. There used to be a phone number. They got rid of it, and if you try and call it, it will just be like, email us. This is the shittiest run store on the internet.
So that tells me they fired their support team.
Oh, yeah, clearly. I can tell you back when it was Right Stuff, they had a phone team you could talk to, and I used to. Now, I'm not going to pretend I never had issues with Right Stuff. I absolutely had issues with Right Stuff. I had, at one point, decided to never shop at Right Stuff again for a while because they did some stuff I wasn't happy with. But you know what? At least I could talk to them. There's nothing you can do here. You can just yell about it on the internet, and they don't care.
So yeah, Sony, the people you put in charge of this are ruining your capital investment. Unfuck it fast before they cost you a lot of potential money.
Because that is the perfect segue into our second story of, gosh darn it, Crunchyroll! Starting in, effective today. Before you even read this, before you heard this, because this news is a couple of days old now. Crunchyroll subscription prices are rising And if you are an existing subscriber, it will take effect on March 4th. So if you're brand new, you're already on the new. If you're existing, your next billing cycle. Fan tier, which is the absolute ass bottom of the tiers, you get one stream, and that's it. Goes from $7.99 a month to $9.99 a month. I will say the fan tier price increase at least gives them something. They are giving the feature that Mega Fan, which is what I use, and Ultimate Fans use, which is the ability to download episodes onto your phone so you can watch them without internet. That is being gifted to the fan tier as well now. So they at least get something for their $2 price increase. Mega Fan tier goes from $11.99 a month to $13.99 a month. And that's the one where you get like 5 or 7 extra simultaneous screens, which is great because Crunchyroll has profiles, and but it's still the mid range. And then Ultimate Fan tier went from $15.99 a month to $17.99 a month. Ultimate Fan includes the Crunchyroll manga, which in other tiers is an add-on fee. It also gives higher store discounts. Megafan gets 10% off the store. Ultimate gets 20%. Megafan gets free shipping at $50 orders. Ultimate get 25%.
Yeah.
But
although again,
and then Ultimate gets
store?
Like little goodies. But again,
what store?
Well, the Crunchyroll store, of course.
No, but I'm being rhetorical. What store?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Well, and it used to be that Mega Fan and Ultimate Fan, after 3 months of holding that membership, they would give you a discount coupon, like a 15% discount coupon on top of your existing discount off your order. They did away with that with the last price increase.
Oh, and you know what? If you really want to move those sets that aren't moving, give a slightly better coupon and make it only eligible for that range of shit. That's how you move product that you want out of the warehouse. Yeah, well, you don't even need to do that. You just need to give people a little push, a little excuse to do what they want to do.
Good, didn't.
Yeah,
but
I know better.
We thought we'd moved on to this topic, but apparently not.
Anyway, yeah.
So ultimately, all tiers went up $2. This matches the price increase we got last year for $2 increase, which we also yelled at them for. They justified the $2 increase from last year because, oh, look, we added profiles. And that cost us a lot of development money, so we had to put money into that development. I didn't like that excuse, but at least it was an excuse. There was a reason for it. What is the reason for this $2 increase? Fuck you, that's a lie.
Yeah,
literally no explanation given whatsoever. Yeah. It just is.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you took that $100 Megafan annual deal, which was a great deal in December, well, you're good. We're good until December, when instead of going to 120, which is what it would have been, it's going to 140. And I've gotten an actual email for that. They've absolutely covered their backs on that one. Guys, you already got rid of the free tier with ads. Is that why this is happening? Because I know that I've heard from in the past that they made more money off of the ads than they have off of the paid tiers. Is this to make up for the fact that you got rid of the ad tier? Then put the ad tier back, you ding-dongs!
Yeah, because let me explain something to anyone at Crunchyroll or someone who knows someone at Crunchyroll who might be listening. Let me explain a fact of life to you. You are not a monopoly. You think you are, and I'm not talking about High Dive, I'm not talking about Amazon. I'm talking about yo-ho fucking ho. Anime fans are much more willing, on the whole, than your average TV fans. So it's not like Netflix, although Netflix has this too. If you push us enough, we're going to stop paying your stupid fees, and we're going to get our anime elsewhere. It will be as convenient. It may not be as good. It may not be as good, but who is it who said piracy is a customer service problem?
Gabe Newell.
Yes. So
Even if you
yeah,
don't want to pirate it, you could always. Some of these animes are on uh, Netflix, which that Ultimate Fan tier, that $17.99 a month, that is more expensive than most Netflix packages.
right. And keep in
That
mind,
$13.99, that is a Netflix price.
you're also competing with Netflix and whoever else is still
Yeah,
left.
Netflix,
And again,
Hulu slash
so when
Disney.
people look at their monthly budgets, which people have to make monthly budgets because
Yep.
our cost of living is going up and our paychecks are going down. That's a fact. And so we're going to have to cut some corners. And you know what? What's the first streaming service we're going to drop? The one where we know exactly where to go to get the other shit, or the shit that might also be available on this other streaming service that we're paying for. You're going to be the first one to be dropped. You are cutting your own throat in the long term, especially if you're planning to make this an annual thing. The only people you're going to wind up with for your service are people who have the disposable income to bother. And that's a relatively limited market of people who are both anime fans and have that level of disposable income. That's a much smaller pool than people who have a little disposable income and are also anime fans.
Yeah.
Cast a wide net with many different tiers.
Like,
Put it back down.
obviously,
Yeah, put it back down to what it was, because your costs have not gone up. I know they haven't. If anything, your costs have gone less in terms of data centers and stuff. The other thing is
you
bring
would
back the
know
free
that's
tier,
actually
like
your field
LK
of
said.
work.
Yeah, I mean, we're building data centers and stuff like crazy. And let me tell you, especially your demand, especially if you're doing this, is not going up. Yeah, you just
Yeah, sorry, I kind of outed your
this
your
is
line of work there, but it's relevant to what you're
I
saying.
work somewhere in the IT industry. That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
No, but I wasn't saying specific what you do either. But
Yeah, no, it just
I want our listeners to understand though. You
yeah,
actually would
I
understand
could be
that.
much more specific and still leave it wide open, because I live and work in a major tech area, specifically Route 128 in Massachusetts, which does not narrow things down at all. We all know I'm a asshole. So anyway, but yeah, that's to be, basically clue the fuck in, structure your service for the market you have, not the market you want. Learn how to business, or
And
you
learn
will
how to
fail.
message. Like, good God, neither of these things we're talked to about. They don't tell us about stuff. They're bad about talking about simuldubs. They're bad about messaging. Fix
Yeah,
your
you
PR
just
term team,
yeah, just
Crunchyroll,
or get one. I don't think they have
or
one.
get one. Well, they have like a Twitter guys,
Well,
but like they're
whoever it is either not doing their job or they're severely overworked.
well, I'm sure they're
I
I'm
suspect
sure
it's
it's
the
at least
latter.
one, if not both.
Yeah, I suspect it's the latter. It feels to me like it doesn't so much feel like they're not doing their jobs. They feel like they don't have time, and whoever it is has other things that they are higher on their priority list, and they never quite get to this stuff.
Oh
So
yeah.
just one full-time person would be plenty. Um, for this whole service. And the other thing is, you can pay people to shape the narrative, right? You're not even bothering to do that. So even if you wanted to go full evil megacorp, get some more commercially minded streamers. And no, we're not open for business. We don't make
No.
any money off this. I mean, by all means, send me an email. I'd love to laugh at you and show it on screen. But
They
by all
don't
means,
even know
make me an
your
offer.
email.
Well, send it to LaserKid. I'll put it on screen. But
Oh God.
yeah, that's a funny thing. But yeah, there's people I'm sure who are more commercially minded, or more generalist content creators who'd be willing to dip their toes into this for a certain amount of money. I mean, it's not even rare.
Yeah,
Do,
and to those
it's
of
marketing.
you,
Do some marketing. Shape the
to
narrative.
those of
Do
you that are
something.
going, oh, it's only $2. Yeah, but it's only $2 from like 5 different streaming services.
Well, okay. So what's 2 times 12? $24. $24 a year. That's a fair amount of money when
That's
reckoned
yeah,
against an annual budget
that's
for a normal
absolutely.
person.
That's a budget anime title right there.
Hmm
That's not nothing.
That's an indie game.
And I want to remind you, if you got that $100 anime deal, it goes up $40 next year. 20 over what you would have paid previously at the end. To be a little more fair, because that $100 was a promotional deal. But still,
which is still, $100 for an annual. That is a reasonable price.
I
That should be
didn't
their
even bat
standard.
an eye at 120.
Yeah.
Which is what it would have been without the deal. Like the 100 was them saying, "Hey, it's a sale." Sure, cool. 120 for a year. I actually of Crunchyroll, I would not have batted an eye. At 140, I don't know. Obviously, I'm still having it for a whole other year, so Simuldub Saints isn't going anywhere, at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I have the
But
money
I'm
to maintain it just because we need it to see
talk
what's
about this
going
stuff.
on.
Yeah, we'll
But
probably, almost certainly, we'll keep it. But
yeah, because I'm fortunate enough to have a better income stream than most. Doubly so since I don't have a family or children or anything. But I'm not
yeah,
most people.
and I've tried not to go, "Hey, Ark, help me pay for Crunchyroll," so I haven't done that.
Right.
But if they do stuff like
Right.
this, I might have to.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And again, yeah. So I don't even know
And
what else to say that I haven't
also,
said.
they really aren't a monopoly, even excluding piracy, because there is High Dive, there is Retro Crush, there is
Mhm.
Netflix, there is Disney Plus. All of these other people are competing for anime right now. They are not the monopoly they think they are. They have a lot of really good titles. They are the big fish, but they're not the only fish, and they're not
Yep.
even the biggest fish in the
Yep. And it
pond.
is a pretty small pond too. That's the other
It
thing
is
to
a small
remember.
pond. They're not the biggest fish in it either, because the only reason that they think they're a big fish is the bigger fish have other things that they eat.
Yeah, there's that. The other thing that I don't think I've said yet is remember the pond you're in, the people who are in here, we tend to care more about the content you're providing
Yeah.
than the average Netflix user. This isn't just background stuff that you scroll for most people. If you're
No,
watching anime,
anime
broadly
fans are
speaking, it's
nothing if not
because you
passionate.
care to want to a greater or lesser extent.
Yeah.
Um,
We are nothing if not passionate as anime fans, and that is
yep.
not a new thing.
Right. So you have from a mildly to a psychotically devoted fan base to your shows. You need to lean into that and capture our affection, work with us. And I don't mean us specific, the podcast, I mean us as a fandom. And it's not hard.
It
You
really
just
isn't.
have to you just have to pretend to care a little bit and make some nice noises once in a while. It's not hard. You just need to have not even two, you need to have a fuck and a half to give, not even two whole fucks. Get
Yeah.
it together, people. Do your job. Make money. Real money. Because what you're doing right now is called penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah, I got nothing else I can say about that. It's
Yep, that's it.
yeah. Obviously, if you're not Crunchyroll, you're probably about as mad as we are, and you have every right to be, because this is screwed up.
All right, and yeah, all I can say is, do make a budget. This is just general advice. Do make a budget, and make whatever purchasing decisions are right for you. And
Indeed. I would say if you're able to pull it off, even with the increased amounts, annual plan is the way to go. Unless you're sharing your account, cannot argue for higher tiers at this point. They've foobarred their shop, and the main bonuses for higher than fan tier is shop stuff and extra screens, which is if you're sharing your account. You're not supposed to do that, but people do that. And that's
yep,
kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge what profiles are meant for. But if you're not doing that, don't do anything higher than fan. They've given you the one thing you might want as a single viewer. do not raise your
Yep.
subscription level beyond that. At
And
this
for
point.
manga,
If for
consider
manga, just get
that,
the
there's a
Shonen Jump
lot of
app.
other. Yeah, there's that, or there's a lot of other things.
$4 a
They don't
month.
have everything, but we're not going to talk about it here. But probably our next extra pairs will lead with this before going into our discussion. It won't be the next one you see because there's one sitting that I need to edit. But anyway, we're probably going to do some light novel talk among other things.
Yeah,
While
light
we're
novels is
gone.
a whole other game, but
But
yeah.
basically, Bookwalker is doing very good things, and we're going to
Yeah,
give
well,
them a shout
Bookwalker's
out
also
later.
not a subscription, it's a storefront.
True, but again,
They are doing things worth praising, and we'll talk about that. But
yes, but that's a whole nother conversation, and we've talked more.
the other thing you got to keep in mind, Ark, although you and I love light novels, and there is a crossover between anime fans and light novel fans, that's not as connected as you would think.
Yep, I know. It's basically just, you're giving me the chance to talk about what I want to talk about, and it's tangentially related.
What I was gonna say is, as far as manga, you don't need Crunchyroll to subscription for manga subscription.
Right.
There is the Shonen Jump app, there's the Viz app, there's Manga Plus. There's a smorgasbord of manga you can read digitally for reasonable prices out there. You don't need Crunchyroll for that.
Yeah. So again, Crunchyroll, you do not have a stranglehold on anything.
No, they do not. And if they keep doing this, they're going to get the more they tighten their grip, the more anime fans will slip through their fingers.
Well, yeah. You're pricing out your own customers. What are you doing?
Well, anyway, that has been today's edition of Pellet Clouds. So we'll see you all next time.